Hey, how's it going? Welcome back to the Social.in podcast. I'm your host Pradeep, and on this episode of the Social Media Weekly, we're talking about Facebook having no clue what happens to your data. We're talking about Instagram copying TikTok again, and we're talking about Microsoft Edge and their built-in VPN. Let's get started. So for our first story, we're talking about Snap. Yes, I said Snap as in Snapchat, and apparently they're launching a new drone. Now, to understand why Snapchat is building a drone, you have to remember that Snapchat considers themselves a camera company and not a social media company. Anyway, Snapchat has launched a new drone. It's called the Pixie, as in Pixy. It's a small drone, like a really small drone. It fits in the palm of your hand. It's autonomous, as in you cannot control it except by waving at it. And also it has a meh camera and a meh battery life. Now, what's interesting about this drone is that it's only $230, so it might be useful if you're a creator. For our next story, we're talking about Microsoft Edge and their built-in VPN. Now, here's the thing. Microsoft Edge is actually a pretty decent browser, especially after it started using Chromium as a base. Now, the only problem with Microsoft Edge is that Microsoft keeps trying to push it down your throat. Anyway, Microsoft Edge apparently has a new feature. You have to log in with your Microsoft account in order to make this work. And also it gives you about 1 GB of Cloudflare powered VPN free every single month. It's called Microsoft Edge Secure Network. For our next story, we're talking about Twitter miscounting their users again. Now, in 2017, Twitter actually miscounted their users by 1 to 2 million for about 3 years, and now it's happening again. According to Twitter, between the first quarter of 2019 and the end quarter of 2021, Twitter miscounted their daily active users by 1.9 million users. Now, here's the thing though, after Elon Musk takes Twitter private, they no longer have to disclose these numbers. For our next story, we're talking about Instagram copying TikTok again. Now, here's the thing. Last year, TikTok increased their video length up to 3 minutes. Last year, Instagram increased their video length for their reels up to 60 seconds. And now, apparently, they're working on a new feature wherein you'll have 50, 30, 60, and even 90-second reels. Yay, I guess. For our final story, we're talking about Facebook having absolutely no idea what happens to your data. Now, according to a leaked report published by Motherboard, Facebook engineers have been trying to scratch their heads and find out what exactly happens to user data inside of the platform. Now, I'm referring to Facebook, the Big Blue app here, because so many apps and services plug into Facebook. Facebook has no concrete way of protecting your data. This is apparent from the report because they have absolutely no way of complying with the European Union's GDPR or General Data Protection Regulation. That's about it for this week's episode, guys. If you enjoyed it, please go to your favorite podcast application, subscribe to the Social.in podcast, give us a 5-star rating. We will see you guys right back here next week.